When it comes to wild camping and backpacking gear, it's easy to become obsessed with weight and overlook things like cost, quality and comfort. For this camp, I've packed some gear that is a bit on the heavy side. I've got a tent that weighs almost 3 kilos, but it should still serve me well for a nice, comfortable camp. Obviously, I've got loads of other gear to show you as well, but I'm just grabbing a train up to Edale, and then I'm meeting up with another YouTuber. We're heading up to Kinder Scout from there, so I'll give you a full gear tour when we get up there. It's the first time I've tried getting the train or any form of public transport to a camp as well, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Well, I'm off to a great start. My first train was delayed and now it's left me only 1 minute to get off this train at Sheffield on platform 2 and then move to platform 7 for the train to Manchester, which is probably just not going to happen, is it? So I'll probably be stuck at Sheffield train station for an hour where I've got to wait for the next one.
And your personal belongings with you.
Pretty close that. I literally had to shove my hand in the door to stop it closing to get on that train. Right, I'm just going to track down old Shagatha Christie. I'm going to get some lunch before we head up Kinder, I think. Here he is, look. Hiya! Mr. Beast. It's going to be a slog up here, and I'm not as fit as I used to be, so I'll see you when we get to the top. Is due to get to 40 miles an hour on the tops tonight, so if it is bad we'll try and find some shelter somewhere so that we're obviously not camping in that sort of wind. It's a bit windy. I don't think the drone will be going up in this. We're just down out of the wind for a minute going past Upper Booth, I think it's called. And we're making our way up to Jacob's Ladder. Gaz is falling over.
I don't fall over, I'm a mountain goat.
Get yourself some ultras, you won't be falling over then.
I'll sit with your dog.
You'll just have wet feet all the time. That's the bottom hit. Now we're heading back up. Been walking for about an hour now. We're just approaching Jacob's Ladder. Not as fit as I used to be. I'll tell you what though, this Kinder Scout better be mint. The way that everybody bangs on about it, it should be the best place on earth, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Some stunning views on the way up, so I'm just hoping they're even better when we do get up there. Just stop for a quick break before we head up Jacob's Ladder.
Definitely a horror movie, that.
Paramedics on standby. Jesus. I'd probably recommend, if you're unfit like me, just take the other way up. There's like a horseshoe shaped path. It's a bit of a gentler climb, but if you're not like me and you are in shape, you'll be fine. I'm guessing this bit here is going to be a false summit. I'm out of that breeze on this bit here as well, so I'm hoping when I get round the corner I'll get a bit of breeze going again. So I'm starting a new diet. It's called the Jacob's Ladder diet. And you walk up it once and lose 14 stone by the time you get to the top. I'll be glad when the morning comes and I haven't got 16 kilos of stuff in my pack. There's some stunning views when you eventually get up here. You can never capture them properly on a little camera like this though. So like I always say, if you want to check them out, you'll have to get your arse up here yourself, won't you? So we're here with breathable, lightweight clothes on, dying out of our arse, and then this guy that you can probably see over there just comes waltzing past us barefoot with jeans on. What's that all about? You do look at the views when you're knackered, sweating like a PIG, and wonder if it's, you know, worth it all. And it's probably not, to be honest, but you do it anyway, don't you? So I think we've done most of, if not all of the climbing that we're going to be doing. We're just working our way around this ridge. So you've got the wall packs there, and then Crowden Tower, but we're thinking we might carry on past that and go a bit further. I think altogether it's going to be about a 10-mile loop that we're doing. So we're going to try and get as much in as we can today, and then it's a shorter walk in the morning to go and get a vegan sausage roll from the cafe. Might have to go halves because they're about £3 each, I think. Cheaper to put meat in them, isn't it? So half the reason it's nearly killed me coming up here is because I'm unfit. The other half is because my pack, as I said earlier, is weighing in at about 16 kilos. I just wanted to do a bit of a test to see if it actually matters how heavy your pack is, if you're using one that fits you properly and is, you know, comfortable to carry. And I think it definitely does. The tent I've got is a Wild Country Panacea 2. It's the same design as their Northern Light 2, but it uses polyester rather than the nylon material that the Northern Light uses. So it is heavy. It weighs in around 2.8 kilos. It's got a massive pack size as well. But I've put it up in the garden for a quick first look, and it does look really, really strong. It's massive inside as well. It's a bit of a palace, and you can reinforce it with trekking poles if you want to make it even stronger. So I thought that would be worth a look. If I want something strong and spacious that's not going to cost me like 500 or 600 quid, you know, something's got to give, and it's the weight that you pay the price for with this. I got it from Outdoor Gear Essentials. I don't think he's got any left, but he has just got back in the Helm 2, which I would highly recommend. So I'll stick a link in the description. There'll be a QR code on screen. Have a look and see if there's anything that tickles your pickle. So yeah, that's the wall packs. Walked uphill for 6 miles to see it. I suppose it's quite impressive if you like rocks and stuff. Just stopped for a power 5 minutes, get some electrolytes down us.
Electrolytes.
Gaz is on 5% electrolytes. I might crack a beer open, to be fair. Just got a Brewdog Punk IPA.
I'd climb that, wouldn't it?
It's when you start to see the attraction of bivvy bags, isn't it? Cheers, Shagger.
Cheers.
All the best.
Fendi, what are you doing, mate?
Hello.
New dad. Kick her off if you don't want to, on you.
She's alright. Cheers.
What are you doing?
It's not a bad view to sit and have a beer too, is it?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Got a new friend here, look. Don't tell Ruby. So I think we've come up with a bit of a plan. We're going to head past here, keep going along this ridge for a bit, and try and camp at Grindslow Knoll or Grindslow Knoll. No idea how you pronounce it, but then that just means in the morning we've just got to drop back down, straight back into Edale, and we can head back home from there.
I'll try to go around this way.
Stuntman. You're right.
I am bumped.
Oh, look at the state of this. These rocks here look a bit like them Easter Island heads. Just gone 5 o'clock now. I think it gets dark about 6:30 at the minute, so we've still got a bit of a way to go. We need to try and get there and get pitched before it gets too dark, really. I've got another new pillow that I need to show you as well before it gets dark. It's a Sea to Summit one that's massive. With their sleep mats and their pillows, they do this pillow lock system. There's basically a proprietary Velcro, I think, that secures the pillow onto your mat, and the little sticky tabs that you put on the mat to lock the pillow on, you only get them with the mat, you don't get them with the pillow. And I'm still using my light tour mat, so I emailed Sea to Summit and asked if they'd sell me some of these pads, and they did just send me some out for free. So it's worth knowing, if you do get yourself any sort of Sea to Summit pillow and you don't have a Sea to Summit mat, just drop them an email and they'll send you some of the little pillow lock tabs to put on it. It's been good to come up Kinder. I've never been up here before. Been on the other side, up Grindslow and a few other places in the Dark Peak, but I think for me I prefer exploring and camping around the White Peak area. It's just starting to rain now as well. Typical. Camping friend. Ooh, friend. Friend. Friend.
Let's go for it, mate. Let's go for it.
We've dropped down out the wind here because it's going to get up to 40 mile an hour later, so we're going to miss the sunset, but we can see it just disappearing over the top of that edge up there. See what I mean about the pack size of this thing? It's massive. Right, I'll get it set up and then I'll let you have a look around. There she is, look. Wild Country Panacea 2 by Terra Nova. It's a decent sized freestanding tent. All the poles come in one piece, so it just folds out and clips onto the outer. You've got doors on both sides, and the doors open all the way, so you can open that first bit to there, or you can have 2 bits or 3 and have the whole side of it open. It feels pretty solid to me, but you can put trekking poles in each side as well, and I have bought some with me, so we'll stick those in later and just see what sort of difference they make. Right, I'll get the rest of my stuff in and then I'll let you have a look inside. So that's just the first bit of that door open. It's got like a elasticated toggle there. Then the inner, these Wild Country tents, they're notoriously saggy when you first put them up, but this one's got adjustable sort of clips there and pulleys, so if I pull that tight, you should get some more rigidity in there. The doors, you've got half mesh on the doors. You've got 2 zips, and the only bit that's fastened is a little bit in the corner there, so they can come all the way open. And then up there, that's the reinforced bit for your trekking pole. So we'll put those in soon, because the only bit that doesn't feel massively strong is these edges here, which go up and down a bit. But with the trekking pole in, I'm sure they'll be fine. Before I chuck my stuff in, let me just give you a quick look inside. So it is a 2-person tent. At each end we've got 2 zips on here to open this up. It is mesh behind it, it just gives you a bit of extra airflow, so I will open both of those up. You've got a pocket here that's really for just shoving the door into, like so. Lamp hook at the top, everything you'd expect really, but as I said, I'm going to try it tonight, see how I get on with it, see if it's worth that weight. This is the pillow I've got. It's a Sea to Summit Eros Pillow Premium Deluxe. Comes in this little carry bag. And then, like I said, the sleep mats that Sea to Summit sell come with these little pads, but the pillows don't. So they've sent me some out, and they're just these little 3M sticky pads. It's like a Velcro, but feels a lot smoother than normal Velcro. I'll get those stuck onto my light tool pad and we'll see if they work with this pillow. So this is the size of that pillow. You can see it's a really decent size. I'll put the dimensions on screen, and it's got a bit here that you can kind of put your shoulder into and then sleep on. There's no dimple or dip on this either, so I'm hoping this one will give me a good night's sleep, and I can get my head and my arm up on this one as well. So for food later, I'm probably going to regret this, but I've got a fire pot chili con carne with rice. I tried one of these before. I think it was the pasta, beef bolognese pasta and orzo pasta or something like that, and it was just not very nice. It didn't hydrate properly, and yeah, just wasn't the one. So maybe Firepot can redeem themselves with that, but if not, I've got a Summit to Eat custard and apple crunch, which I've had before, and it just tastes like if you had apple crumble and custard and mixed it all together. So at least I know I've got that to fall back on if I need to. I've got that fire maple Polaris stove as well, just my little titanium pot in there. And I've got a Brewdog Hazy Jane to have with Gaz in a bit and we'll do a bit of chin wagging, bitching and putting the world to rights. So that's those pads stuck on. It says to leave them 30 minutes to bond on. You are meant to put them on while the mat's deflated as well, but I've already pumped it up with the pump sack because I forgot my flex tail pump again. So on my last camp I reviewed this Polaris stove and the Hornet 2 I think it's called, from Fire Maple, and I just didn't rate that one at all, and I said so on video, and Fire Maple didn't see that video before it went out, but actually they've been really responsive and they've asked me for some feedback on that stove, and they've said that they're going to update it to make it a bit safer and less sort of wobbly and unstable, which is what I found it to be. And bend proof, yeah. So it's good that they're sending products out to people, not telling them what to say, telling them, you know, what to say to sell the product. They're just sending it out for you to test, and then they are listening to feedback, or it sounds like they're listening to feedback, which is good. Right, I'll give this a go, but it's saying stir well, seal and stand for 15 minutes, and that's the problem I had with the last one. I think it just went cold, so I'm going to try and keep it warm in the tent, see if it hydrates properly. Well, that chili con carne was just as rank as the other one that I had, to be honest. The rice was just like sandy and powdery. I did leave it 15 minutes and stop laughing, Gaz. I thought I'd give them a second chance, but you know, they've let me down again. So I'm just going to chill now, finish my beer and get some sleep, and then we're going to head back down towards Edale in the morning after we've packed up. I'll let you know how I get on with this pillow, and I'll let you know if anything dramatic happens, because it always does when you're out with Grizzly Gaz, doesn't it? So it's 10 to 6 in the morning now. I'm back at Edale train station, just waiting for a train home. We ended up coming back down from Kinder back to the car park at about 3 o'clock this morning. Basically, when we got up there, the forecast was fine. There was a little bit of wind that got up just before we were getting pitched. So we dropped down the side of Kinder, as you will have seen on the video, and there wasn't a bit of breeze down there. I almost didn't even put my guy lines out. Then after we'd got pitched and it got dark, the wind changed and sort of spun and did a 180 and just started coming straight towards us. It was about 37, 38 mile an hour gusts at that point. So Gaz's tent kind of failed pretty much straight away because he was in a tunnel tent. The Panacea 2 did pretty well. I put the trekking poles in and it held quite well. But then the wind just got stronger and stronger as the night started to go on. We're keeping an eye on the forecast. It said it was going to start raining heavily at 5 o'clock this morning, which it has done. And it also said on Gaz's forecast that the wind speed was going to get up to 45 or higher miles an hour, so it was going to get worse. So the choice was either come back down here in the dark, which is risky, or stay up there, have a sleepless night and then pack up and come down in the rain in the morning. The reasons we came back down was, one, we'd already seen the path from where we were, so we kind of knew the rough way that we were due to come down, and two, the wind wasn't forecast to let up at any point, so it was still going to be the same amount of wind in the morning, but it would have been the rain instead of the dark. So we made it back down safely. We took our time, took it steady. But yeah, I need to get home and check all my kit. My poles on my Panacea 2 are bent. I think they're 8.5mm poles, so that just shows you how strong the wind was. Now it might be that it's not designed for those sort of conditions, but it's got the option to put trekking poles in to make it even stronger than it is sort of out of the box. So I pitched it up properly, I put all the guys out, and it still collapsed on me. And everything else I've just crammed in my bag, because once the tent collapsed and the poles were bent, I just got the poles off, and then I had to kind of reach inside the tent to grab everything, get it inside the bag, and then I left a couple of pegs in one end of the tent and rolled it up into its own dry bag, and then finally stuffed that at the top. I'll unpack everything when I get home, double check everything's alright. But yeah, it's been a bit of an adventure. I hope some of the shots and some of the footage that I got of the tents in that wind kind of do it justice. I'm not sure if they will or not though. It's worth going to have a look at Grizzly Gaz's video of the same camp, because I think he managed to get a lot more shots. Comment and let me know what you would have done in this situation, and if you think we did the right thing or not. Let us know, and I'll catch you next time.